Hey now, Mandalorians and your creed. Matt Haywood here from the Star Wars Time Show to recap and review The Mandalorian Redemption, aka S1E8, the last one for a while. The episode begins with the two scout troopers who capped Kuiil and kidnapped Baby Yoda abusing him and showing off their horrible aim. Luckily, the reprogrammed IG-11 shows up and literally breaks their bones and reclaims the child. Back at the cantina, Mando suggests using the sewers to escape so they can get help from his covert. While he's searching for the Great, Gideon starts rattling off detailed information about Mando, Cara, and Greef, which includes Mando's name of Din Djarin, which we posted weeks ago, as well as the fact that Cara is from Alderaan, which is just a nice little touch of lore. Gideon rolls out an E-Web cannon and tells them they have until nightfall to surrender, so we get another flashback as Mando explains how he knows Gideon is Moff Gideon, which is thanks to his time with the Empire's ISB, so think Kallus from Rebels in terms of that division. During the flashback, we finally see that it was indeed a clan of Mandos who saved Din as a kid, and if you look closely, you may have realized that the clan has the House Vizsla sigil on their armor, and the blue coloring could hint that they're members of Death Watch. We also learned that being a Mandalorian isn't about where you're from, rather it's based on the creed one takes when they become one. At this time, our boy IG-11 rolls into town with Baby Yoda in tow on a speeder bike, and he literally kicks so much ass it's not even funny. Thanks to his ass kicking, he provides enough of a distraction for Mando and the goodish guys and girls to escape the cantina and start blasting Gideon's forces. Din grabs the E-Web and starts blasting baddies, but Gideon explodes its battery, which gravely wounds Din, so they all retreat back into the cantina. IG-11 begins to cut open the sewer grate from earlier, but Din reveals he's dying, so he commands Cara and Greef to leave with Baby Yoda. IG stays behind with Din and convinces him on a technicality to take off his helmet so IG can heal his wounds, which he does with some Bacta spray, so they join up with the others in the sewers. They find a pile of Mandalorian armor, which is a result of them showing themselves to help Mando during the end of Episode 3. Luckily, the armorer is still alive, so she explains what happened and also gives Mando his next mission. She assigns Baby Yoda as his foundling, and since the baby can't be trained as a Mando, she commands him to find others of his kind so Mando can leave him with them, which in this case are Jedi, who she explained about when discussing the Mandalorian wars between Jedi sorcerers. Think Revan, Malak, and the Old Republic era in general. Din earns his signet from the armor before they depart, which is that of a mudhorn to mark his clan of two with the child. Oh, she also gives him his jetpack to finish out his armor set, so now he too can be a rocketeer like his buddy the Heavy. While this is going on, troopers breach the foundry, but IG takes them out quickly. Team Baby Yoda heads out to leave the armor to brutally beat down more troopers, so she's likely to return next season. Din and everyone makes it to a lava river and they get on a skiff to take them out of the sewers. Unfortunately for them, a platoon of troopers are waiting at the exit, so IG decides to sacrifice himself to save everyone else. In doing so, he also manages to get Din to feel for a droid, paying off on a season-long hate of machines due to his horrific childhood experience. Just as it seems that they've made it out clean and free, Gideon arrives in his tie and starts strafing at them. Greef wants Baby Yoda to use his magic hands again, but Din straps on his jetpack instead and flies after Gideon like a boss. He manages to attach a charge on Gideon's fighter, so he crash lands and is out of the picture for now. The good team talks Miller time before Mando decides to head out in search of Jedi, while Greef and Cara plan to team up and stay on Navarro. Mando and his son head out, and he gifts his mythosaur necklace to the little guy to make him an official foundling. But that's not all. The episode ends with a huge reveal. We see Gideon cut his way out of his wrecked tie with the freaking Mandalorian Darksaber, a weapon made famous in the Clone Wars and Star Wars Rebels, and one that will surely lead to some interesting plot threads in Season 2. The end. What a fantastic finale, really. It paid off on some season-long questions such as who saved Kid Mando, what is his real name, and of course the act of seeing his face. We also learned an interesting tidbit about Cara's heritage and got some touching moments from a droid. Speaking of IG-11, how amazing was his save of Baby Yoda, and then his subsequent speeder charge through Gideon's forces. I mean, what an awesome sequence of events to watch play out, but more importantly, they showcase droids unlike we've ever seen them in live-action Star Wars. IG-11, while sadly dead for good now, hands down became one of the best characters of the season, and you could argue that his arc was perfectly scripted and added a fantastic end cap to this rather excellent season finale. I just loved how his reprogramming helped Din reprogram himself in regards to how he views and treats droids, so I'd imagine he may be a bit softer on their kind moving forward. Character growth is really what this finale excelled at, as it added meat to Mando, Cara, Greef, IG the Kid, and even Gideon, who's clearly going to be the main protagonist moving forward. Plus, the reveal of him being in possession of the Darksaber will surely lead to more awesome lore and narratives, so I can't wait to see how they explain it being in his possession, and how Din will come into play with it. Considering that he was more than likely rescued from Clan Vizsla and possibly Death Watch, he may have a claim to it in the end, so you should bet on getting him introduced to it in Season 2. Man, what a bummer to say goodbye to the show, but my goodness were we treated to some of the best Star Wars storytelling in recent memory. The Mandalorian achieved what it set out to do on all levels for me, which included having a nostalgic feel with all the eggs and references in each episode, interesting lead and secondary characters, shocking surprises, I mean the Baby Yoda thing still has a hold on all things geeky these days, as well as tales that connect animated Star Wars to live-action Star Wars, while simultaneously building out new lore that is steeped in old lore for fans to latch onto and appreciate. What can I say? The show is aces, and I only hope it breeds more like it. The blueprint has been set now for live-action Star Wars TV, and we have John, Dave, Deborah, Rick, Taika, Bryce, and all the other talented people that brought Mando to life to thank for it. Here's to an excellent first season and the hopes for an even more radical second. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, please consider subbing to our YouTube channel. We'd also love for you to join in with our weekly Star Wars podcast. So use the links in this video's description, or head to StarWarsTime.net to subscribe to the platform of your choice. There's always time for Star Wars Time, and remember, if you listen to the Star Wars Time show, the Force will be with you, always.